Calvin. Today I'm going to show you how to create a bar graph. I'll read you the information and show you how to graph it. After that, you need to answer 4 questions that are going to be based on the information that the graph shows. First off, I need to review some things that you need to know before we start this lesson. Okay, so looking at number 1, it says, looking at the picture below, can you measure the height of the pencil and the eraser using inches? So the ruler's in inches. Fill in your answers in the box. So look at the pencil. How high is the pencil? And write your answer here. 13? Wait, try again. This is 10, 11.
Oh. That was a little small.
Yeah. Okay, now do the same for the eraser. Good job. Okay, now we're gonna move on to letter A. Which is greater in height, the pencil or the eraser? So just write down pencil or eraser if you think the eraser is greater in height. Okay, now letter B. Which is shorter in length and by how much? Okay, so you're gonna have to find which one is shorter, the pencil or eraser, and you have to tell me how much shorter it is.
How much shorter the eraser?
Yeah. So you chose the eraser is shorter? Yeah? Yeah, so you have to tell me, so you're gonna say the eraser is shorter by how many inches is it shorter? By 5 inches? Let me see. So we know that this is 12, right? Pencil is 12 inches, eraser is 5. So this question, when it says this part, which is shorter in length and by how much, it's asking, so since this is 5, how much more inches does it need to be the same height as the pencil? So think, we gotta do 12 minus 5. What is it equal to? 12 minus 5, yeah.
Seven?
7, very good. So change your answer from 5 to 7. Okay, now this one says number 2. Looking at the picture below, answer the following questions. So we got fruit punch, we got lemonade, soda, and water. Okay, letter A says, which 2 drinks have the same amount? So just write the names of the 2 drinks. Okay, now letter B says, how much more does the water cup have than the lemonade cup? So how much more does the water cup have than the lemonade cup? What do we need to do? We need to add or subtract.
6 minus 4.
6 minus 4. Okay, so what is that?
2.
2, and then we're measuring by 2 inches shorter, or 2 inches more, yeah? Okay. Now, for this part of the worksheet, the reason why this is review is because I needed to make sure that you know how to measure, and then these questions are comparing and contrasting what is shown, what the information given to you shows, okay? Okay, so now, okay, this is what he did so far. Okay, so now we're gonna go over reading a bar graph, okay? Okay, so look at the bar graph below, and can you tell me how many girls are there in the school? How many boys attend this school? How many students altogether go to this school? So one thing I need to point out to you, Calvin, I want you to pay attention to the bottom, like the categories. So obviously this is boys, this is girls. And one thing that is super, super important is these numbers on the side. Because sometimes these numbers can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and so on and so forth. But this graph, we're going by tens. So we're going 10, 20, 30, 40. So once the bar hits that line, it doesn't mean that there is only one. There's only one student attending. It means that there's 10. Okay? So let's go over letter A. How many girls are there? How many girls are there? Very good. Okay, letter B. How many boys are there? Very good. And how many altogether? Very good. Okay. So Calvin saw his graph. Question A, how many girls are there? He wrote 120. How many boys are there? He wrote 110. And then how many students attend this school? He put 230. That's correct. Okay. Very good, Calvin. Now that we did the review, let's move on to the lesson. First, I'm going to read you the information that we need to graph. Okay? Okay, so here's the lesson. Okay? So, in an animal shelter, there are dogs, cats, and mice. There are 20 dogs, 25 cats, and 5 mice. So now, what I want you to do is we need to keep in mind, okay? We need to graph 20 for dogs, 25 for cats, and 5 for mice. Looking at these numbers, okay, I chose to do it in 5s for you. Do you know why? Yeah, because it goes by 5s, yeah? Usually these numbers go by 5s. And we want to make this number as big as possible so that way the graph is small. Because if we did by 1s, this graph would need to go all the way up to 25, and we're going to have 25 lines instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines. Okay? Okay, so first, can you label the different categories we're graphing? So what are we graphing? What animals are we graphing? Okay, now that we have our graph set up, let's graph the number of animals. So you wrote dogs here. How many dogs are there?
20.
20. Okay, so graph up to 20, and you can use the markers this time. So that way we can see, just like how our review was, you can see where the graph measures up to. Okay, very good. Okay, now do the same thing with cats and mice. Okay, very good. I like how you colored it, but here's what I want you to do, okay? Because this can be confusing, okay? Because some lines that you colored, you see how this one doesn't reach all the way to the top? So if this box wasn't colored, I would think that you meant that there was only 19 cats. So what I want you to do here, I'll demonstrate with the dogs. Okay. I did want you to color it, which was good. You were following what I was saying. You were following the directions. But what I should have showed you, should highlight the line that it goes to, and then cross over. So we know, okay, it stops at this top line. Okay.
Goosebumps.
Oh, sorry. I know. It's hard because this pen's drying out. Okay, can you do the same with the cats and the mice? So just outline, yeah. Good. And then here.
There we go.
Very good. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna show the camera your graph now, yeah? So that way whoever's watching can follow. So Calvin, so we did this together, the dogs, and it's highlighted all the way up to the 20, which is right. And then his cats are lined up all the way to the 25, and then his mice is up to 5. Okay, very good. Okay. Now let's go over the questions, okay? So it says, which animal does the shelter have the most of? So looking at the graph, we want to see what the highest graph is. That way that it tells us which one has the most, okay? So which animal has the most? Okay, can you read your answer?
Cats.
Cats, very good. Okay. Which animal does the shelter have the least amount of? So you want to find the opposite of the biggest bar. Okay, what did you write?
Mice.
Mice, very good. Okay. How many more cats are there to dogs? Okay, so one thing that we can do with this, okay,
Minus
is right.
20 from 25.
Yep, very good.
Five many more cats.
Very good. Okay. Which has less, dogs or mice, and by how much? So which one has the least amount? Is it the dogs or the mice?
Mice.
And you mice? Okay, and then you got to tell me how much.